We are live. This is the market update. Selling the market off SEC news? Stupid. That's my opinion. If you're selling crypto, who are you selling it to? Smart money. That's my view. Find support on charts. Want to see the charts? Don't go anywhere. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like button. Hit it, hit it, hit it. If you're watching it on a phone, shrink the screen, hit the like button, and go back to full screen. Shameless. Looking for 300 likes on a video. We're going to get there. Okay, let's welcome who's on the stream. I got to learn how to pronounce this guy's name. Duilo Cortezi, first on the stream. Bull Runner, let's go. Robin's here. She likes the title. Thank you. We work hard on that. Richard Barry, Augusta, Georgia. Nigeria. D says, bring the alpha. Crypto Path with some notorious love from Quebec City. It's got to be cold up there. Mr. Kumar from New Jersey, Madrid checking in. Okay, happy Friday from Alexander. Welcome. Rugby Performance Labs. Abed, we are live. Sebastian says, I'm not selling blank. That should have been the title of the stream. Love it. Love it. Okay, BTC fib circles, please. Okay. We actually have a Bitcoin long-term price prediction in the video editing queue. Video editing queue. But I can bring up the fib circles if I can find them. I actually improved on the fib circle analysis in the new price prediction videos. So if you like price prediction videos, subscribe to the channel. Robinson, bring it on. Facile Technology, Through the Wire in Mission, Texas. Sahara from Canada. Wrong Again is here, right? A Better Shot. You're right on time. You're not too early. You're not too late. You're right on time. Actually, somebody out there is too late, and his name's Gary. Hey, Gary, FTX was the problem, not Kraken. For God's sakes. Okay. All right. News. Let's go. Agent of an anti-crypto agenda. Community slams Gensler over Kraken crackdown. Don't you like how they have to call it a crackdown? The SEC is on the job. I'm going to tell you some Wall Street war stories when we get done with this about what it was like to have regulations back in the day. SEC Chief Gensler warns against crypto firms to comply with rules after Kraken shutters staking program. Other platforms that offer yield earning programs should take note and come into compliance. And Kraken said it will pay a $30 million fine to settle SEC charges. Did you know, as I understand it, that agencies like the SEC don't necessarily have budgets allocated from Congress? They actually fund themselves with fines. And this is what went on after 2009. Regulators would walk in, they would take our lunch money, and we would gladly give it to them. Here you go. Pay the fine. No problem. Go away. You know, they'll be back in 12 months or 6 months or 6 weeks or whatever. But hey, go away. We want to stay in business. It's the cost of doing business. Kraken pays a $30 million fine because FTX was corrupt. Now, let's go back briefly to 2009. But first, I want to do this. I want to remind everybody why we need crypto. FBI whistleblowers raises fresh concerns about bank record mining. You think these guys are on your side? Yes. It is the primary job of government to protect the people. Yes, there are dedicated patriots that work for both the FBI and the SEC. There are people, those people are dedicated. However, power corrupts. Power corrupts. Okay, a Wall Street war story, and then back to the news. Oh, by the way, forgot about this. Yeah, Congress, Gary Gensler won't abide by his own policies to come in and talk to the House GOP, which will hold him accountable. Today, as promised, our oversight of the SEC begins with a request for documents surrounding their interactions with FTX. You know, again, the primary job of government is to protect the people. Now, I don't know who this guy is. I don't care what political affiliation you have. I don't care what political affiliation he has. What I do know is that Gary, whatever Gary's going to do, he's on the clock. He's got to go do it before somebody hauls his ass off and says, wow, you're corrupt. So, you know, these are like the last shots, you know, the last punches of a guy who's about to get knocked out. Wall Street war stories. 2008 financial crisis. Nobody knew what it meant when mortgage-backed securities blew up. Nobody knew it was going to create a stock market decline of that magnitude and a subsequent recession. Let's review what happened back in 2008. Certain banks made bad investment decisions in risky securities. Sound familiar? Those banks blew up. Sound familiar? Then the Fed had to come in and save the system. Crypto didn't get saved. Crypto just re-auctioned prices and used bankruptcy court to stabilize the system. The free market sorted it out. Now, after 2008, when all the bad banks and the bad decision makers, who, by the way, all got multi-million-dollar golden parachutes, the CEOs, when the bad banks were gone, who was left to punish? The good banks, the good people, the people who saw it coming. So even though the bad people were gone, the government had to come down on the good people because people wanted blood for what happened. So when Hank Paulson came in and gave every bank $10 billion to stop everybody from panicking, that was the government's way of saying, we're going to climb all up in your business. We're going to come in, and if you did something wrong, you're going to pay a big fine. And if we think you did something wrong, you're going to pay a big fine. They just find people to the point where compliance at the bank I worked for, and basically compliance everywhere, drilled home to us in training that screwing up, not informing them when we needed to inform them of anything, could result in huge fines and huge losses. The compliance training was very clear. And it was so bad, right, that when I would write my little TA report, that I would write, this is support, this is resistance, this is a pivot point. If it goes above that level, you can buy. If it goes below that point, you can sell. And in terms of having a bottom line that was 3 sentences, I could not really have an opinion about the market. It had to be this like hedged neutral statement. And then that had to be reviewed by a partner, not a supervisor, not a manager, a partner, in order for that to go out. A simple email. And there was like 3 pages of disclaimers attached to it. That's how insane regulation can get or got back after 2008. Now, interestingly, back then, the markets brushed that off. And even though QE was involved, the markets brushed that off and went higher. Now, in this case, we don't have QE. We have Satoshi's vision, which is better. We have the idea that alternative money is needed. It's not as good as QE, but ask yourself this question. Are you really going to sell crypto because of what Gary Gensler does? Really? Are you going to give up on crypto because of that? No. What you're going to do is you're going to find a support point. You're going to find support points over the next 6 weeks. So second half of Feb and all of March. The question is, where is support? And every time you get these ugly red days where they run stops, because that's what they're doing. They're using negative headlines to run stops to get people to sell. They're accumulating crypto for a rally later on. Could be sooner, could be later. And as I talked about yesterday, selling the market off regulation means you're puking crypto to somebody who's going to hodl it and take advantage of price action later. Now, brief word. That's not an excuse for bad risk management. If you bought the top and you did a bad trade, say, I did a bad trade, let's save my capital, preserve my capital, and move to something else, right? If you screwed up, you screwed up. That's okay. Everyone screws up. If you sold the low and bought the high, you have something in common with the greatest traders of the world because they have all done it. Everyone has done it. Everyone makes fun of Cramer. Cramer moments have happened to everybody, including me, including everybody, whether they want to admit it or not. Back to regulation. I am not selling crypto on regulation. If anything, I bought more crypto in the last 48 hours. Back to the news. Guess who launches a national blockchain research center? So, Kraken down, SEC commissioner rebukes own agency over recent action. Okay. So here we are fighting with each other. Meanwhile, an entity that is not pro-West, let's call it that, can't get crypto up fast enough. Sometimes I love to be a proud American, but damn, they make it hard sometimes. PayPal holds $604 million in Bitcoin and other crypto. Bitcoin and Ethereum at the top of that list. Let me ask you something. Did PayPal get to be as big as it was because the people who are in charge of it are stupid? Think about it. When you sell crypto, if you're selling Ethereum below 1,500, you're selling it to PayPal. Like 1571, right? 1471, if you get it. Sushi acquires Cosmos-based trading platform quietly. DeFi 1.0 continues to try to reorganize itself. I got a great idea. How about associating the words blockchain and crypto with innovation? What happened to innovation? Why is everyone attacking innovation? When you have debacles like Celsius and FTX, you get very important information. You get information about what not to do. You get information about what scoundrels sound like when they're about to get caught. Here's a hint. They say, don't worry, everything's fine. Everything's fine. When they start talking like that, now you know. And of course, whatever lending or speculating or whatever stuff that they were doing, now we know that that is not the way to go. And anybody who innovates off that has to come back stronger. This guy. Microsoft founder Bill Gates says ChatGPT will change the world. Right. But how will it change the world? Currently, we've got everybody telling you that ChatGPT is going to put everybody out of business. In other words, it just becomes another case of disaster. Simultaneously, We probably have people saying it won't change anything at all. Here is a known economist who says by 2005, it will become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than that of the fax machine. And this guy has a Nobel Prize. Let's leave his face up there for a while. The internet comes out. First, the PC comes out, right? In 1992, let me tell you something. I was hot shit. I had a laptop in college. I ran a word processing program off a single disk drive, and I had a dot matrix printer. No more typewriter. I was cool. Now, when they said everyone had to get rid of the typewriter, that it was the apocalypse, it was the apocalypse. You know, word processing is here. Typewriters out of business. Oh my God. IBM, who made typewriters, is going out of business. I think IBM is still around. Then the internet comes along. I will never, ever stick my credit card in the internet, ever. I know guys that had to go around the corporate boardrooms and pound the table on the whole idea of e-commerce, and they got blown off. Then, of course, it went in the other direction in 2000, where everything was .com, and, you know, you had Dr. Koop, the Surgeon General, drkoop.com, where you could read medical articles that could now be written by ChatGPT on an internet site, and that was valued at over $5 billion. So, you know, you went from it's nothing to it's everything. It's going to kill everything, and then it's God. Or it's going to kill everything, and then it's going to make everyone rich. Here's what really happened. The PC, the internet, and e-commerce made everything more efficient. It allowed for greater productivity. It allowed for higher earnings. You know, structural changes in unemployment, people get hurt. You know, if you're doing spreadsheets for a living, most likely those spreadsheets may be able to get done by AI. You're going to find out that humans are flexible and will adapt. Don't know why nobody assumes that people will adapt. Everybody is talking about ChatGPT puts XYZ out of business. It took 2 months for ChatGPT to get to 100 million users. I have it, right? And I'm thinking about doing things like, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. This is like having a staff of analysts. It's going to make things better. It's going to make tech companies better. You know what I think ChatGPT does? I got a new tagline. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between Web 2 and Web 3? You know what? With ChatGPT, when they put AI in the metaverse, they won't be a difference between Web 2 and Web 3. ChatGPT is the catalyst to bring Web 2 and Web 3 together. And that is so ridiculously bullish crypto. And I think it's ridiculously bullish tech stocks, which again, they're selling today with reckless abandon, probably because of something going on with interest rates. Okay. Productivity matters. Now, Wrong Again says, where are the notorious bill disclosures? Okay. The disclosures is, this is not investment advice. Not investment advice. Okay. I do everything I can to provide you with navigation. Okay. I provide navigation. Utility Realm DAO is here. Bypass Barry, a better shot. Mr. Moby Dick is here. Getting ready for the weekend. SEO from London. 2 Negative. Welcome. New names here on the list. Ronnie telling you to hit the like button. Grandpa Rocks. Welcome. Welcome. Aiken with Notorious Love. Andre. Okay. Alexandro. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Okay. Let's go to live TA. This market's ballistic. We're going to live TA right now. Okay. Now, what is there out there that is spooky for crypto? U.S. interest rates are rising. U.S. bonds are going down, and U.S. long-term interest rates are rising. I suspect the Russians and the Chinese are selling. We want to deliver missiles and tanks. This smells like they are taking it out on our bond market. Now, of course, that leads to fear. But right now, long bonds are, the interest rate is rising and it's not a disaster. Now, if there is something to worry about, even though Gensler creates headlines, it's not Gensler, right? I mean, Gensler is going to declare ETH illegal and then face this music. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, good luck with that. Gensler's got to get whatever punches he can get in now. Now, let's go to TA. Okay, so I'm looking at Bitcoin on a 90-minute chart. I got a 13 bottom. I got support at 21,457, and I may be looking at another 9 bottom. I could see a flash crash, and I talked about this, right? Like when you get, down, 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 there could be some stupid stuff on the weekend where they run the stops, right? Meaning institutions buy Bitcoin Monday through Friday through the futures contract at the CME and the Bitcoin ETF. So if they're going to run stops, they may do it over the weekend. Okay. Again, I got a 13 and a 9 bottom on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. And I look at this and I'm like, well, they already ran the stops. Like, I'm not 100% sure that this is a bottom, but really don't feel like selling down here. I just don't. Even if they flash crash it. Now, ETH, again, 13 bottom, 9 bottom. Okay. And then all of a sudden, okay. So wave count, D wave. Okay. Start at 1,700. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. With a 0 at the bottom. Now, DeMark Elliott wave is very outside the box, which is why I love it. Okay. So you give me a 5, meaning trend over, right? Elliott wave structures have 5 waves. Okay. The 90-minute Ethereum chart is telling you that is a 5 wave. We're done. And that's a 0. Now, are we done? I don't know. Okay. I bought crypto last night. I can say that, and that's not investment advice. Okay. In other words, this is the running of the stops. And we talked about this. We talked about either a flash crash. The title of the stream is Roll with the Punches. Now, we may be dealing with this for a couple of weeks, right? The question becomes, this is important. The question becomes, what support points can you identify over the next 6 weeks, right? So that you can accumulate crypto positions, hold them, not get killed, and be there when the market turns. All right. Now let's put on kind of a, I don't know. Let's put on a bit of kind of a mega bull hat for a second. This is Bitcoin daily. So the downtrend ended November 21st. There was actually an up move in early December. That was the wave 1. Then you had tax loss selling, CZ, crypto Twitter, emphasize crypto Twitter calling for the end of CZ. That was wave 2. Then you had this range that lulled everyone to sleep. And then boom, up only wave 3. Then you have this flush. And the D wave is telling you this could be wave 4, which means wave 5 is coming, which could be 26 or 27K. Now, I'm going to be intellectually honest. This ETH chart, not particularly exciting, right? There's a 13 top. They ran it up to the blow off top levels, and then they dropped it. Okay. I'm trying to see what they have on D-Wave. Okay. So this actually is okay on D-Wave, because with ETH, the bottom was in June, and wave one up was the June bottom to the merge high. And everything FTX and all that was just a big wave two. And what we're in now in ETH is wave three. So even though this candlestick formation and this sequential work does not look good, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and it may cost me viewers and followers. I hope that doesn't happen, but I don't care. Let me tell you another story about 2010, 2009, and what it felt like to be inverse Kramer. Or back then, it was inverse Noble. Okay. Every time during the QE era, I'd see a 13 top, I'd see a break of a trend line, and I would go, oh my God, it's bearish. Now, if you look at this structure, you could have 6 more down days in ETH. But back then, I would be like, oh my God, you're definitely going to have 6 more down days in ETH. This chart is totally broken, and it's going lower. And the second that would come out of my mouth, somebody would turn around and buy the market and bring it back and somehow recover the chart. In other words, in high conviction environments, as crazy as this sounds, and again, we're going to find out real soon what the deal is, you actually benefited by looking for situations where the chart obviously broke, okay, which again is back over here, where the chart obviously broke, because this doesn't look good. It obviously broke. All the stops were run, and everybody was scared and bearish. That was the buy point. And the objective was to find support. Now, using this DeMark moving average system, there is good support at 1429, which, oh, by the way, is the 2017 high, which I think is the biggest support point or the biggest technical inflection point in the history of crypto. So you make sure you set up your portfolio so if they drop it to 1429 in ETH, you can be there with gusto. Frankly, I'd be shocked if it got there, but the market does trade like shit, either because of Gensler or because of what's going on in the bond market. So I have my view. I want to be intellectually honest, but the title of the stream, the thumbnail, courtesy of Crypto Kathy or Kathy Crypto, is roll with the punches. If Gensler wants to punch crypto and there's something weird going on in the bond market, 1429. A lot of people said, I want to buy Bitcoin under 20K. I said, you won't get to buy Bitcoin under 20K. If you do get to buy Bitcoin under 20K, hopefully it's not some sort of like black swan. But if you did, do you think people would be brave enough to buy it? Like if you woke up Sunday night and Bitcoin was at like 19,700, would you buy it? Or would it freak you out and you would be too scared? I wouldn't blame you if you were too scared. But the thing is, it's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. And you're not a bull market trader or investor unless you try to buy a dip to try to make money. Like that's that's my ChatGPT extension, right? Like what would Bill Noble say when the market went down off Gary Gensler news? What I would say is you got to try to buy the dip. It's not investment advice. And you got to not chase stupid shit. You got to buy higher quality. Because I am noticing, some cryptos are up today. Or they were up today. Like Cardano is unchanged. Polkadot is unchanged. Avalanche is up. Solana is up 1%. So the rotation game continues. right? Interesting that Sandbox is up 1% today after getting absolutely killed, right? Like, don't buy the big green candle, buy the big red candle. This is Sandbox, right? You know, I was looking for $1.06. It's probably got to hold above 76 cents. So maybe nothing to do right now. There's a pick your spots elements to this, right? In other words, I can't be live with you all day. Maybe one day we will be. But the question is, on your own charts and your own work, where are the pressure points? Tito says, I would buy at 1900. Wrong Again says, carry me out under 20. Huckleberry Native says, I'm not scared. Okay. SFG is here. Welcome. Right. Crypto for Noobs. Hi. Okay. Wrong Again said, my orders are in at 1451 and Bull Runner is sticking with me. Okay. Wrong Again also applied some dry powder. Okay. So love from Europe. Reverend Flashback asks us if we could get rid of some of our securities regulators. These people are the enemies of U.S. citizens. Why stifle innovation? It's just like Bark and GLDN and water trading. American free market companies can do it, or you can have some communist regime do it. Who do you want to do it? Okay. Wrong Again is looking at Mana and AVAX, not investment advice. Okay. So let's take a look at Render. Okay. It's going to my list. Okay. So here's Render 90 minutes. So one of our listeners sold over $2. Yay. Okay. Goes way up, rotate in. Crashes, buy it back. 13 and a 9 bottom. Looks like 127 is the support level. They attacked it once. They attacked it twice. Okay. Basically, you know, you had this huge move up. $50 retracement. I think Coinbase's stock is doing a 50% retracement. You know, JASMY, same thing. 13 bottom, right? You know, it was like 5-wave top, emotional, drop the market. Let's check the retracement. I mean, folks, this is the game, right? So, wow. Okay, actually, let me redraw this. Sorry. So there's JASMY on top of 50%. There's, you know, there's the warning from the DeMark oscillator. This is like, you know, maybe a little overdone. And then hey, let's take a look at it down here. That's kind of how I read it. Okay, JCH from Doha, welcome. Right? Alexandro, the bigger the base for Bark and GLDN. That's right. Right? It's like these things go up, you get out. These things crash, you get back in. If it doesn't work, you either wait or it's not a bull market. Right? Driftless wants all day. He wants me on air all day between TikTok, Instagram. You know, I may have to go live on multiple platforms, on multiple machines, perhaps at different times of the day. So you may get your wish. I'm going to have to work out more and probably get a professional nutritionist to keep up. But that's a white collar problem, as we like to say. Okay. Fetch.ai retracing 62% of the run up. Running, look at them run the stops right here. You know, it's like, oh, we'll run the stops here and then we'll do it again for good measure. Like people think, oh, the bull market. oh my God, everything goes straight up. No, folks, this is the bull market. With people stopping you out, hoovering up your crypto, and then if the bond market lets them, taking it back up. HBAR, right? Hedera. Okay, so this isn't budging. This isn't budging, right? 13 top, 9 top. No one's really interested in selling this, which is interesting. That's interesting, right? Because, you have, the old ceiling is now trying to become the floor. Personally, I'm not that interested in buying stuff unless it's down. Now, if down 3 days in a row and Hedera is down, okay, I got that. A lot of times when you've bought it on 3 consecutive down days. We'll see. If you get a 9 top and a pullback, way I would do this is if it restarted, then I would go with it. Because that's what you get. You get a setup phase, you get a correction, and then it goes. Okay. Personally, I think you might be able to buy this at better levels. Okay. Optimism, right? Optimism. 38% retracement of the whole move, basically. %38 retracement of the whole move. Simple, easy. Look at all this prior congestion here on the 90-minute chart. Optimism just sitting right there on it. Okay. And if you look at the D wave, okay, D wave gives you multiple ways to interpret this, but D wave is telling you that this was the high of the 3 wave at 320, and the 4 wave ended this morning, and that there's going to be a new high in optimism. So if you missed it and it was at at $3, at $3.25, everyone loves it. At $2.25, everyone hates it. Chris says there's no cash in Nigeria. Okay. No cash. Okay. The graph. Okay. Again, a 90-minute chart. Again, this is the 3 wave up here. So, the big green candle ends the 3 wave. The graph glides down to support. And that's the 4 wave. According to DeMark, new high in the graph. So sometimes people say, okay, it's down, I'll buy the dip. Sometimes in bull markets, that is the dip. That is the dip. Okay, let's go to Polkadot. Okay, so Polkadot on a daily chart, worst case scenario, looks like 525. Right? People involved in this made the news for doing something weird. Okay. Technically, it looks like an ABC correction, right? First leg down, A. Then it tries to come back in early Feb 2 days ago, B, and then flash crash, C. So assuming we're still believing in Polkadot and interoperability, which I am, assuming there's no scandal here that hurts the coin, it's an ABC correction. Okay, Cosmos. Cosmos, 9 bottom, right on top of support. Okay, again, same thing. A, B, C. And you've heard me talk about how ABC corrections can be a pain in the ass. They can be a pain in the ass. Okay, Mina. Okay, I assuming when somebody says hype around ZK, you know, maybe that's privacy. Okay, again, the same ABC correction, and Mina looks like it wants to go the other way. That's a 4-hour chart. That actually looks pretty good. And the 90-minute chart, they're definitely after this thing. Okay, above 86 cents, you know, they want to get busy. Look at the 13 bottom, right on support. Right? Tito says, like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Hamid is here. Welcome. Okay. QNT. Okay, so if you look at the recent down move, this is a 90-minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not perfect, but it looks like the down move is over. And if you look at it from the other way, okay, the move off the lows in December up from 85 to 160 off their robust marketing budget, that was wave 1. And then you have this correction here, that's wave 2. So in QNT, theoretically, you haven't even seen the big up move yet. How do you like them apples? Again, just not selling dips. Okay, Magic, 90 minutes. Okay, so you got a 13 and a 9 bottom and an overshoot. Okay, it didn't quite get the support at 127. Okay, the sequential is not that good, but the D wave sort of hints that the correction may be over. It may be. Okay, not a good looking daily chart necessarily. Okay, I don't blame you for wanting to buy the dip. Let's leave it at that. Okay, you know, maybe you get a flash event in this. Maybe. Okay. Okay. Wrong again is not touching optimism. All right. Okay. So near, I like this. It went up like 10% and then they just dropped it. Oh. It's the other thing about the bull market, right? You know, like you can like it, you can like stuff, and you can still get hosed. You can be bullish and get hosed on the way up because you're long the wrong thing, and then they drop it in your face and you can get hosed again. Okay, so near looks like, you know, this was wave 1 up to 285 and wave 2 down, right, is support around 215. You know, if we look at a daily chart, okay, I'm hoping near does not take out its low. This is like absolutely brutal. Okay. Right. So really weird. You know, this is 1, 2, 3, and we don't know what's going on here. So in near, you may get a very rare answer from me. I don't know. I know I never say that. And I know that's like the most hated answer in crypto. Right. Now, when I look at this is like classic range trading. Okay, this is the setup phase. Like these numbers mean like a set of conditions exists. Like the high is higher than the high one day ago. So, you know, 1 through 9 is setup in a range trading environment. Then it comes back down. You get a 9 bottom this way, and then it's time to go the other way. Right? This, in my opinion, this is irrational FOMO. This is stop fishing. Okay. I actually thought that this was going. I didn't think it was irrational FOMO. I thought it was sector rotation. And then they get me. Okay. Love from Jeff. Appreciate that. Okay. Secret. Again, don't know how privacy cannot be a narrative. Don't know how it's not a narrative. Not every sector goes up and every sector can go down, right? Especially if they get the regulation hammer out. I mean, my God, I mean, that is not a pretty candlestick, obviously. Okay, but if you look at it maybe on a 90-minute chart, okay, you get the 13 top, you get the blow off top. Again, you know, sell blow off tops, rotate into something else. Now there's a 9 bottom, and you can try going back into secret. I mean, secret is where it was back in January 18th. So, you know, if you've been hodling this, I am not seeing a reason to get out. Okay, so Zach is asking, what do I suggest people do with PAXG after the recent, you know, enforcement action coming against the Paxos company? This is what I'm going to tell you. Always manage your risk, right? If you're asking me what you should do, then perhaps you already know. All right. Always try to protect yourself. Now, just because a state regulator is doing, you know, you did this wrong, pay the fine, doesn't mean the apocalypse, but you have to be comfortable with the risk that you're taking. So as bullish as I can be, as defiant against the SEC I can be, as much as I want to find support points and buy the dip, when it comes to stuff like PAX and enforcement actions, you have to trade based on what lets you sleep at night. Okay? That's how I would do it, right? Robin said, after Luna, I learned anything is possible. Okay? Robin said, I sold all my PAX. You know, I think there's a lot of quality people in this chat. And by the way, I do appreciate everyone in this chat. In some ways, the chat on the market update, in many ways, is better research than you can get on other people's TV shows. So our research and our chat group is pretty good, if I don't say so myself. Okay, Enjin Coin, again, 13 top, 9 top out, 13 bottom, 9 bottom, right? Rose uses AI, according to one of our readers. It has not mooned yet. We had guys like this. I worked with a bunch of guys who thought this was great. 13 top out, 9 bottom. Wave 3 up, top, wave 4 down, bottom, hopefully. Wave 5 up is possible, according to this wave count. Okay, DXY. All right, so bond market getting smacked. Yes, that means the dollar index is up. Okay. All right, so dollar index is up. I had 103. If it was below 103, that would be bearish. It's not above. It's not below 103. I have resistance at 104. Okay, so if there's a problem out there and that problem is in bonds, then that means the dollar could go up. Do I think that's the right trade? No, I don't. Okay, while I'm at it, okay, let's just do Coinbase on a 4-hour chart. Okay. 62% of the entire rally in Coinbase is $53. Currently, Coinbase is at 56. I think this 62% retracement is going to tell you a lot about the health of the crypto market. Like, I don't think Coinbase makes all of its money from staking. I think this whole idea that Gensler is going to put all of crypto out of business, I can't do that trade. Some guys want to get short and do that trade. I understand. Okay, Galaxy Digital, 4 hours. Okay, again, bull market's catching everybody, right? Big rally, big new high, boom, on regulatory news. 50% retracement is at 457. 62% retracement is at 425. I swear to God, after seeing some of these stocks at, like, you know, this stock at 581, and the next thing you know, you could get it at 450. I mean, that feels like discount shopping to me. Okay. You know, huge pullback in miners. Hut 8 did a merger, Can't see that on the charts. Okay. Let's see. Okay. A lot of times what you get is, the bigger the rally, the bigger the retracement. Okay. So crypto miners go up. This is Marathon Digital. So this is one of the more levered holders, right? We talked about this somewhat, that, you have these big new highs, right? And you have lower highs in stochastics. They do the initial drop, and then the second drop is the one that's nasty. Again, $5.56. They hit it on the nose. You get stopped out, you get stopped out. It trades terrible. I mean, how did it trade up here? Did it trade bad up here? Like maybe that candlestick was bad, but this was like up forever and then boom. Okay. So I'm interested to see if 556 holds. I have no idea. I mean, yeah, this was crazy from 3 to 9. I mean, that's the thing, right? These epic rallies, you don't know whether or not they're BS until you get a retracement and it holds. Okay. 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 Doing GLMR. Okay, getting a 90-minute chart up here. Okay, so similar situation, right? 13 top, 9 top, out. 9 bottom. A, B, C, done. We'll see. Who knows if they're going to do a stop fishing exercise over the weekend. That is possible. It would also be possible if they ran all the stops today and went to ramming speed on the upside on Saturday, but don't want to get caught drinking Kool-Aid. Okay. Don't get dogmatic. Don't get arrogant. There's a difference between high conviction and getting dogmatic, right? If you get dogmatic, you're bullish no matter what. That's wrong. If you have high conviction, you're going to buy the dip. And when everybody thinks it looks terrible and Gary Gensler is going to take over crypto and ETH is illegal. And, as some guy on some Twitter space said, that in a choice between Janet Yellen, Ben Bernanke, and ETH, his choice was D, none of the above. In my opinion, if you're not picking ETH, then you don't have conviction. Okay? If something terrible happens and market structure breaks down, you have to stop out. And if you don't, that's dogmatic. That's no bueno. Okay? All right, people, I got to wrap it up here. Happy Friday. Here's the deal. I personally bought more crypto. I personally think regulators are going to be in more trouble. They're in more trouble than places like Kraken. It's a shame they had to pay the fine, but you know what? It's consistent with what they do. If there's a dip and it scares you, good. If it's hard to buy the dip, good. If it's not hard to buy the dip, bad. That's bear market. Okay? If it's hard to buy the dip, it can be good. Nothing trades good at a bottom, just like it doesn't trade bad at a top. This is Bill Noble. I'll see you Monday.